Yo, what is good, everyone? Your boy Deke back again with another vid, and this one is topic related, hot take by PFF, whatever it is, man. We got them ranking Minkah Fitzpatrick as the fifth best safety in the NFL. I don't think it's PFF, it's one of their analysts. He did like a top 32 safeties in the NFL. So let's get into the article. We'll look at it, try to get their vantage point on this, and just kind of go through this conversation. Where should Minkah be ranked? Obviously, a lot of us are probably going to say within the top three, probably number one. But I thought it was, I don't know if interesting is the right way to put it, because it'd be interesting if I think there was some validity to the rankings. I just don't think there's much validity to it. But yeah, let's get into it. So here's the top five. Here's who they have above Minkah Fitzpatrick: Justin Simmons, Denver Broncos, Harrison Smith, John Johnson III, Marcus Williams. And yes, you could see in this paragraph here, they're talking about the Minneapolis Miracle, and he is number 4 in the league. So let's just watch this play again.
Gannon steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs sideline.
And yes, he is number 4. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, they have at number 5. Derwin James at 6. He's been hurt a lot. Marcus May, Jesse Bates the third. A lot of people have Jesse Bates higher. A lot of Bengals fans on Twitter are complaining about where Jesse Bates is on this one. Adrian Amos, people are complaining that he should be higher. Jamal Adams at 10. Tyrann Mathieu at 11. Kevin Byard, 12. Anthony Harris, 13. Micah Hyde, 14. Jordan Porter at 15. There's a lot of good safeties in the NFL right now, but I'll get into that later. To break this down, let's just keep things simple. We'll look at the stats of Minkah Fitzpatrick, compare him to the 4 guys that PFF and this PFF analyst has ahead of him. Thankfully, we got a Steeler analyst, Thomas. Dude, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, but this is a little chart that he made, which is very beneficial. I was looking up their stats over the last season, but he's dropped over the last 30 games from 2019 to 2020. And as you can see from this chart, I don't need to go stat by stat, but we could. We have targets and coverage better, 51 to everyone else's, 26. You could just see the green. He actually made it really easy for all of us. Minkah Fitzpatrick's got a ton of green, which means he's the best in all these categories. Whereas this is only 3 of the 4 safeties. Who's he leaving out? So he's leaving out John Johnson III. Anyway, this was over the last 30 games, 2019 to 2020. But then I did a little analyst work myself and broke down the stats over the past season in 2020. I took that average value thing that Pro Football Reference has. It sounds like a good little stat. They try to approximate the value that the player has given to a team over the course of a season. The higher the number, the better. So as you can see here, Minkah Fitzpatrick 13. Everyone else in the single digits. We have 5, 6, 9.
Nice.
Interceptions, Minkah's got 4, Harrison Smith 5, Justin Simmons 5, so it's all close there. Pass defenses, 7 for Marcus Williams, 10 for Harrison Smith. We have 11 for Minkah. He has 1 forced fumble. No one else had a forced fumble last season. 79 tackles, definitely less than John Johnson here. Harrison Smith, 89, 96 for Justin Simmons. We know Minkah Fitzpatrick's forte is not in tackling. But what he does have over everyone else is an all-pro. He does have a Pro Bowl. Justin Simmons had a Pro Bowl last season. So if you're going to just go based off last season, Minkah Fitzpatrick is hands down better than the other 4 safeties. So that's what got me wondering, is this ranking just based off last season? If that's the case, they criminally underrated Minkah Fitzpatrick. But then is it based off of like the past 2 or 3 seasons' body of work? I still feel like Minkah Fitzpatrick, that would actually have him much higher than what he was at 5. So we got the explanation from the analyst who did this. So earlier, I mentioned that some Cincinnati Bengals fans on Twitter were upset with Jesse Bates' ranking. I'm assuming it's a Bengals fan right here. How he has the screenshot circled, number 8, but then the explanation says he has the highest overall PFF grade. Like, why would he be number 8 then based off PFF's grading scale? The person that wrote up the article, Sam Monson, says 1 year isn't what a guy is. Safety is one of the most volatile positions in the league year on year. I'm expecting Bates to regress in 2021. Okay, so Minkah Fitzpatrick is what? 24, 25? Let me double check. So yeah, he was 24 last year. He'll actually be 24 for the most part of this season as well. He had 2 All-Pro seasons back to back. I don't see any regression from Minkah Fitzpatrick coming up in this season. I don't think anyone in their right mind would say that. So no regression for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Then if we're talking about not just last season, body of work, but still you include last season, obviously, because that is part of the body of work. Minkah Fitzpatrick's last 2 years, I guess if you want to include his rookie season, but he wasn't on the Steelers. I mean, I don't know what other safeties are really competing with what Minkah Fitzpatrick has done. And one of the main things I would want to talk about is he was misused with the Dolphins a little bit. Obviously, he wanted to get out of there. They were in a rebuilding process. They were moving him all over the field. But as soon as he got to Pittsburgh, we remember what happened in 2019, right? This one's against the Dolphins. What was this? This was 2 picks. I was at this game too, man. The main point is our defense was terrible first 2 weeks of the season in 2019. Terrible. I think we let up over 30 points against the Patriots. They moved the ball pretty seamlessly against us. We got housed. And then against the Seahawks, we gave up 28 points. Sean Davis was hurt. Big Ben gets hurt in that Seahawks game. Things are looking dismal. Defense is looking bad. We don't know what the offense is going to be. We trade a first-round pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick, and this is the type of stuff that happens. We had no business really winning this Colts game. The offense was pretty stagnant. Mason didn't turn the ball over. This was actually one of his better games. But plays like this, you see Brian Hoyer, they were down in the red zone. This is like a, 2-score swing rate here. And this is what Minkah Fitzpatrick did throughout all of 2019. And then we get into 2020, had a little bit of a slow start, but then picked it up. All of a sudden, we were talking about midway to later in the season that he was in contention with TJ Watt for Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, it tailed off a little bit, but to have an All-Pro, Pro Bowl in 2020, also in 2019 like that, I mean, it was the Minkah effect. We called it the Minkah effect.
Shotgun snap, Goff. And he throws a pass, and it's intercepted.
There it is. There it is. Take it back to the house. Granted, that was kind of like a gimme. That was a gimme. I mean, it landed like right in his lap. He's like, you know what, though? I'm going to take it back to the house. Still, you got to make a little juke move. Got to shed a tackler. Man, they're all over the place with these highlights. This is the Steelers channel, too. Why didn't they put the 2 Dolphin plays together? Although, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Throws me off guard a little bit. I think there were a few missing, too. 49ers game, literally right off the bat. Didn't he have a forced fumble or a fumble recovery? Also had a pick. So that was crazy. The Minkah effect was real in 2019, and then obviously in 2020, he was regarded as one of the best safeties as well. He's 24. He's hitting his prime. So I don't know what they were seeing when they were doing these rankings. Now, it's fine. Now, if you have Justin Simmons in your top 3, maybe you have some other guys. I like Tyrann Mathieu. I probably think he's a little bit too low on their list. Jamal Adams might be a little bit too low, even though he had a down season. But to have these 4 guys in front of Minkah Fitzpatrick, it just doesn't add up to me. Everything I just explained to you, and then if you look at the stats based off last season, where he's at in his career, to have him at number 5 is pretty absurd. Now, I'm from Pittsburgh. Probably a lot of you guys watching this video from Pittsburgh. If you have Minkah at number 2, number 3, whatever, I get it. We all have personal preferences, especially with how good the safeties are in the NFL at this point. I remember last year, whenever we were talking about our top 10 safeties on the podcast, we almost said, like, man, it's tough to leave some of these dudes off our top 10 because of how good the safeties are in the league. We're in, like, a golden era of safety. So I'm not going to blame people for having different rankings or maybe having a personal preference for one player over another. I'm just telling you objectively, Minkah needs to be in your top 3. Like, there's no question about it. And have some other dudes in your top 3 if you're going to have players ahead of them that are justified. So, like, in this case, I just don't see it, man. I got Minkah as number 1. Probably a lot of you guys do too. But I think it is really justified. I don't think it is just blind fan reaction to this. I laid it all out there for you. Probably had the best 2019 and 2020 seasons for a safety in the NFL when you combine that. we saw the impact that he had as soon as he came over to the Steelers. We went from like the worst defense the first 2 weeks to like a really dominant defense throughout the rest of the season. Probably finished in the top 3, top 5, but there was a stretch for like a good 8 or 9 weeks. We were hands down the best defense in the league. And then lastly, I wanted to go over one of the best reactions that I saw to the PFF list. As I mentioned earlier, how they had some of these players ranked, you know, you could be scratching your head. You could move that list all over the place. And Budda Baker was ranked at 16. I think a lot of people, including Budda himself, think that is a little bit low, but his reaction was pretty good and I thought worth a spot in the video. So we have a bunch of laughing emojis. I'll keep getting all pros and Pro Bowls from my peers and fans while y'all keep spitting out false bullshit information. A career high 68.9. Don't mention my name anymore. LOL. Y'all forget why I was drafted to the Cardinals at PFF. So Budda Baker, you and many people and fans across the nation feel the same way about this list. It's all good, man. This was like kind of free content, so I'm not even like arguing about it. Dude makes a list. People react to it. They give their opinions, whatever it is. At least he took the time to do it, gave his opinions, and I'm just telling you that they're wrong. I hope you guys enjoyed, though, man. Stay chilling. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. You know what it is. Stay chilling. Peace.